Hello Scorpio, welcome to your August 2016 love and general readings. I am using a new deck this month. This is the Golden Universal Tarot deck. My friend Shooting Stars Tarot was using it and I saw it and I had to buy it because it was so pretty. So I hope you like it too. Okay, let's move forward with your love reading. I've already been shuffling for a little bit, but let me, a couple more. Scorpio, here we go. Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Page of Swords, 3 pages, 8 of Cups, 9 of Cups reverse, 4 of Wands reverse, and the Magician. Well, I definitely don't think communication is going to be an issue for you this month. I think there's going to be a lot of, it could even indicate 3 separate people. It could indicate from just one person, multiple attempts from one person. Okay, now messages can indicate anything from light text messages, okay, hi, how are you, to in-depth emails where someone expresses something to you, phone calls, actual face-to-face conversations. I do feel, though, that there is some sort of an overwhelming feeling to everything. Okay, with this 2 of Swords reversed, the 8 of Cups, I feel like you are moving on from something or trying to move on from something. If you're in an established relationship, there could have been some form of hardship. There could have been, a fight or a disagreement of some sort. If you're not in a relationship at all, and these could indicate people that you're dating, people that you have interest in. It could indicate just leaving a type behind or leaving the dating scene behind, starting to want something more substantial in your life, and really making an active effort. Okay, as the Page of Wands in the very center of the reading, there is an element of action, you taking action, you being the one to take the first step, to make that first, whether it's an initial contact or whether it's whatever. I mean, doing whatever you feel you need to do. Okay. Now, for some of you, there might be actually, either 3 people or 2 people, especially for the singles, that you might be feeling a little bit torn about, but I honestly don't feel like either one of these people specifically is really capturing your interest, okay? That there might be just some, I think you're looking for more, right? And you might even be in a place where you have experienced some form of an ego blow, right? We have the Tower here. So again, something that happened, whether it was a fight, or it could have even been not even love related, but that is sort of happening or affecting your relationship. It could have been work related, financially, something occurred that's kind of putting you in a different place, maybe sort of cutting, you're sort of in a self-involved place right now. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? It's just that in terms of love, you might be having a difficult time connecting with your partner. You might be having a difficulty connecting with someone new to create that partnership. Because I think you are in a place of vulnerability a little bit. 9 of Cups, reverse. Something has affected your ego. And I'm noticing especially that all of these are pages and that we don't have any kings or queens or even knights in this reading. It does indicate a youth-like spirit, right? These are considered children or more adolescent in terms of their emotional maturity. And you may have felt like you've had to take a couple steps back in terms of personal progress, right? Things may have been going really well, and then all of a sudden something comes in and affects you, and you realize how much more there is to go, how much more you need to learn, how much more about your partner you need to understand because you don't really know them that well. There's always learning to do. You may have been together for 20 years, but as people change, as people morph, as they go through life experiences, they do become different people. And I think you are feeling like you're starting off fresh. And if you are single, and these may indicate maybe suitors or people that you're interested in or have been dating, and you feel like there might be some form of a choice between the two, I feel like you're just not even going to choose, but that you're going to move on, because there's going to be some realization that either you need or you want something different in a partner, that these particular people don't have a lot to offer, or that they aren't exactly who you thought they would be. And if you're in an established relationship, this could indicate one person, your partner, and you are realizing that you need to progress as well alongside of them, and you need to change the way you see them, the way you interact with them. And because I think that there was something, 4 of Wands reverse, this tower definitely shook things up. Everything you thought that was stable, everything you thought that was concrete, and the roots that you thought you had planted were challenged. This is not the only major arcana, actually we have the Magician here, but this is an inevitability. Okay, major arcanas are things that you inevitably will get to or will happen. It can indicate a fight, but really I more see it as being a challenge within yourself, and you are going to be uprooted. Okay, here as the Page of Wands in the very center of the reading, you're not as grounded as you think. And there may be an element even of cockiness a little bit initially, whether when dealing with your partner, when dealing with people that you're dating. But I think that's going to change real fast. And you are going to realize your true position, and maybe even realize some of your true feelings as well. There may be an expression of feelings, okay? And I don't know, I'm getting a sense more so from this Page of Swords, okay? So if it could be your partner, or it could just be people you're dating, but the only reason is because it's connected with the Tower, right? So we have this connection here, and this is directly in line with the Magician, which is a powerful influence as well. It is an initiation of something. It is a beginning of something. And if your partner is an air sign, right? Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, they as well will be going through some form of learning process, some form of learning curve. The Tower is going to affect them as much as it is going to affect you. If it's someone you're dating, this may be a change in the relationship. Okay, if you've been dating for a year or 6 months or something, I don't necessarily see a stronger union. I just see a strong learning experience coming from all of this. Changing. The wands are the suits indicating transformation and change. And you are definitely going through that process. Let me pull out more cards. I mean, this is kind of a challenging energy here. So this Page of Swords is really sticking out to me. Someone of some importance in your life, that you may have some challenges. And I do feel like you are a little bit at odds, right, with your backs to one another. That you are looking in different directions. And you, for some reason, are kind of taking on this moving on energy, moving away from something, moving away from someone. Now, again, I'm not saying some of you are going to get divorced. Some of you might, or decide to break up with someone, but it doesn't have to be so dramatic, okay? It's not... These energies aren't so intense, but I do sense some conflict with the Tower. Now the Seven of Wands, it's re-emphasized. These are reinforcing cards, and I think you really are going to go on the defensive, and you really are going to try to defend and protect yourself. This person may, quote unquote, attack you, or you may feel like they are attacking you in some way, that they may have opinions about the way that you're living your life. They may try to project their insecurities onto you as well. And while I don't see any lack of communication, I do see a sense, a reinforced sense now of looking somewhere else, looking out to the horizons and figuring out, maybe what comes next. Where do I go from here? You've been uprooted. You've had something affect your ego a little bit. The pride that maybe you have felt, maybe in the relationship, maybe standing next to this person, the pride that you have felt has been affected, and for some of you it may have been shattered. Okay, maybe this person really did hurt you in some way. There was some element of dishonesty, there was some element of lack of focus, and maybe someone strayed. Maybe there was I feel like I'm just getting an overall sense of confusion, major misunderstandings. Now with these cards, more with the major misunderstandings, and I think that there's a need or some choice placed on your shoulders as to what you want to do. For some reason, I'm sensing that you hold the fate of the relationship in your hands, right? So if you want to continue and work it out, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. And I think that you're kind of just waiting to see how things sort of unfold. You're waiting to see what happens next. And, there's not a lot of cards of like jumping into anything or, rapid movements or anything like that. Just waiting for the information to come to you so that you can make some form of an educated decision. Either way, we do have a couple of moons here, which does indicate darkness and does indicate unknown elements, the more mysterious and darker parts of our lives. The pathways that are uncertain, that are unsure, and that may have unknown effects on us. We have 2 swords, we have 2 towers. You're sort of faced with a looming decision in some way. The decision doesn't have to be whether to stay or to go. The decision could also be how you handle something, especially if this is your long-standing relationship. How do you handle the transformations that both of you seem to be going through? And how do you handle feeling uprooted and feeling unsafe in some way? And how do you get away from that? How do you move away? And how do you move away when you might not know exactly where you're going? Well, there is an undertone of faith with all of this as well. Faith that things will come to fruition as needed. Things will come to you. You will have an understanding. You will get a clear indication of what needs to happen, okay? This has been a very strange reading. A lot of the readings for August that I've done so far, they haven't been super lovey-dovey. They've been very much with similar tones, not just like this. This is definitely very unique, but with similar tones of like waiting and seeing what happens. June was a really crazy month for a lot of people. And in July, we've sort of been dealing with the settling of the dust of all of this drama that occurred. And in August, I think we're all just waiting with bated breath to see what's going to happen. There's definitely an overall air of delay and a little bit of confusion and not knowing what other people are going to do or just kind of what's going to happen. So okay, let's move into your general reading for Scorpio for August 2016. Okay. Another moon. Love that. 3 major arcana. 8 of cups in the exact same position. Another major. 9 of wands. Page of wands. And a Queen of Pentacles. Interesting that we had, now we have 2 pentacles and now we have 2 wands. There's definitely energy of other people in your story, all right? And there could be your month, okay, not necessarily exactly August, but any time from like now into the middle of September, there could be something in your life that comes in and seems to be like all your energy sort of revolves around this thing, this offer, maybe some form of a job offering since it has to do with pentacles, or some financial boost, additional work that you want to do, just a new opportunity, a new business, whatever, right? Whatever that offering is, I do feel like there's a lot circulating around that, a lot of decisions being made because of that. 3 majors right in a row, all reversed. Temperance reverse is that unbalance. There's certainly a feeling of lack of stability about you, a feeling of where is this going, how do I handle this, and not feeling exactly quite as strong as you have at other times in your life. With the Empress reverse as well, it's like I feel like a lot of your energy is being projected outwards towards other people, towards situations. Okay, for those of you at work, there's a lot of energy based on what other people do, based on what happens, based on some situation. The Empress reverse is a reminder for us to stay connected with who we are and what we are. A reminder that we really do create our life. We are not simply subject to other people and to other circumstances, all right? This is like a very self-help type of thing to say. But in all honesty, I've only just recently come to understand what it really means to create your life. We are all designers. And the more and more you just react to things in your life, the more and more victimized you feel because of your life. So just a reminder, I think, for you. There are things coming to the surface, and this kind of goes very well hand in hand with that magician in the last reading, because she's, the High Priestess reverse means that things aren't going to be so hidden. Things aren't going to be so in depth and so emotional. And so, Scorpio, I'm a Scorpio moon. I feel things incredibly deeply, and I keep my feelings from people a lot. You might be the same. You may feel something and not necessarily express it. You just internalize it so much. So this actually might be a healthy thing for you. This sort of instability, might be healthy, because it's going to force you to take action. It's going to force you to say and do things accordingly, okay? If you're not happy with a situation, you're going to have to make a change. Something is going to have to change. And we have, again, the 7. And I always equate this very well to that 2 of Swords, because we have the 2 choices with the, more celestial deity, if you will, kind of in the middle. And sometimes we feel like we're being torn, and we're headed in 2 very different directions, and we have the option to make these choices. We have the option to go left or go right, and neither one is right, neither one is wrong. It's just a matter of how you want to do it, and it's not always so black and white. Like I said, 2 things can be right. So if you have an offer coming in, there may be questions within yourself about who you want to be and how you want your life to be. Which pathway is the most likely to give you the life that you want, or to give you the life that you really see for yourself? And it is going to require moving away from something, but you're definitely moving away from comfort. I don't think you're going to be in your comfort zone in August. Things are getting challenged. Your world is being shaken. And it's healthy for you. All right? It's not dramatic. It's not terrible. There's no terribleness here. It's just going to be a change. And again, with the Page of Wands, 2 pathways. It's interesting. It's like 4 people, you know, there's like influences in your life. There are those external energies, which is why it is so important for you to really like figure it out, right? For you and yourself. This is not in reference to, you know, your partner or your romantic relationship in any way. Excuse me. But just rather what it is for you. And it's interesting that these are both in reverse, okay? That there is some thing. Oh, sorry, my air conditioner. Hold on. It's so loud. It's almost as though, you know, the choices that you want, and I'm going to step away from equating these to people, all right? I'm going to just look at these as opportunities or as pathways because they cater to 2 very different sides of us. One caters to the fun and the adventure and the joy of life, and the other caters to the responsibility and the caring and the nurturing side of ourselves, a feminine side and a masculine side. And I think you're going to be placed in a position where you're going to need to choose or to figure out what it is that you want. There's probably more financial opportunities with one direction. But again, it's a little bit more mundane. It's a little bit more boring. It's not as exciting. And I, honestly, with the taking on the energy of the Page of Wands in both readings, there is that desire for new adventure. You wouldn't be leaving otherwise. And the change that you're taking, the change that you're making in your life, it wouldn't be happening if it wasn't supposed to be happening. All right? Like I said, these major arcanas, they're inevitabilities. You can't fight these energies. You can't prevent them from coming into your life. They just do. In some form or fashion, you are meant to go through these specific lessons. You are meant to go through these specific cycles. And right now, I think there is a desire, that uprootedness, I think even though it's very uncomfortable, it's also very exciting. And I do feel like you are leaning more towards what just makes you happy, okay? And some of you might be forgetting about the money, and I'm not forgetting about the money, you know, we need to survive. So whatever offering this is, you know, I don't know whether or not you're going to take it, okay? But I do feel that there is a very strong desire to go the more adventurous route, to be a little rebellious and to choose the one that makes you feel more free. You know, some of you may be leaving corporations and starting your own business. Some of you may be going into a freelance status. Some of you may be wanting a job that allows you to travel and do it. You know, you want to be like a travel blogger or an Instagrammer or something that allows you to do something that you love and make money if you can, okay? And you're not so concerned about the money, more so as you're concerned about your overall happiness and joy. And that is really where it comes in, that you truly are the creator of your life. You can have whatever it is you want. You do have to work for it. It's not just going to be handed to you. And I think this month of August, you will have an opportunity to create what it is you want from your life. Wheel of Fortune, Three of Pentacles, and Strength. Yeah, I mean, overall, there is this sense of waiting. There's no sudden movements here. There's no drastic, dramatic change. It's almost like August is going to be a month of maintenance. Maintaining where you are. You might be emotionally moving away from something. You might be disconnecting or distancing yourself from something or someone. But ultimately, nothing huge is going to happen. This is a very mild reading, okay? The energies are strong, yes, but they're not detrimental. They're not so overly romantic and fantastic, but they're not overly dark either. They're just very neutral. And I think it's meant to be this way because of everything we just all sort of went through. You're going to take your time in making these decisions. There's no rush, there's no hurry, and you're going to make sure you do it the right way. You're going to make sure that you leverage your talent, your skills, everything that you know, your education, and you're going to create more opportunities from that. Okay, you're going to create this opportunity. It's going to come into your life, but you are also the one creating that. You're the one allowing the space in your life for that. But again, nothing's going to come to fruition quite yet. We've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Nothing is going to quite be, set in stone yet. And I think that it's going to require some strength. We have the Strength card. It's going to require some willpower and perseverance from you. And because you are taking on this energy of the Page of Wands in both reading, and it does indicate change and transformation, I almost feel like the universe is waiting for you to make it through that transformation before grand things start to happen. Transformations don't have to be these long, drawn-out things. Like I said, it could just be lessons that you're meant to learn. Before it can say, okay, now we're going to get the ball rolling. Now things are really going to start to happen. And I do kind of think you're stuck in a little bit of a gray area, a little bit of a limbo, until that wheel fully spins. So kind of an interesting reading, an interesting place for you to be. I think that's it for today, though, but I wish you nothing but the best. Good luck. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next month. Bye.